Hi, Jan Schakowsky here, once again with Jan's Plans and Hands. This week is going to be a pretty sobering session because I'll tell you, it's a really difficult moment in our history. As many of you may know, I announced this week my support for an impeachment inquiry against President Trump. And I became convinced, well, I was always convinced that he had committed high crimes and misdemeanors. But that we have to use that I word because this president, if anyone was fit for impeachment, this is the man, because he is unfit to be president of the United States. And a lot of the things I want to tell you about today reflect that so clearly. One, I'm really afraid about a war with Iran. Yes, the president pulled back last night on attacking Iran, but he is surrounded by people like Josh Bolton, who helped get us into the last war, the war in Iraq, and has never seen a war that he doesn't want to wage. And so we're going to be gathering the people who are part of the Out of Iraq caucus and a bunch of the new members, and we're going to be making statements loud and clear that the United States of America must not and must be prevented from going to war, that the President of the United States has to be limited in his powers because, yes, only the Congress can really declare a war. So stay tuned to that. The other, this is very sad. You know that the President has talked about deporting millions. He uses the word millions of people from the United States. Go to my website because we have information about Know Your Rights. And of course, we are going to continue to fight back against these terrible deportations and work with people in the community to come up with plans. The President has also, this is yet another hand, the President, as you know, has tried to roll back women's reproductive rights. Well, now we have a rule that would say that doctors cannot counsel people fully about their rights, including abortion. If it looks like someone comes into a clinic for abortion, then the doctor may not tell them if the abortion is for the purpose of birth control, that they cannot be told about it. Title 10 has been in place for a very long time, supported by Richard Nixon and George Bush, both of them. And so Title 10 is about family planning. And that should be available to everyone. The President of the United States wants to roll that back and gag doctors, a domestic gag rule, from giving full information. We had a hearing about that this week. We also had a hearing about an effort to roll back what we call CAFE standards. That's auto emission standards, which came under the Obama administration to increase the level of, to make them even more stringent so that we have less global warming, less pollution, less illnesses caused by particulate matter and carbon in the atmosphere. And of course, the Trump administration, even though the automakers were complying and want to have some regular information about what they're supposed to do, the Trump administration wants to roll back the CAFE standards. I wanted to tell you a bit about the appropriations bill that passed and that we're working on. Actually, we have added more money for all kinds of wonderful things like child care and health care. We've been able, as the majority now in the House of Representatives, to have a very good budget. It also includes something I've been fighting on for a very long time, and that is to have more mental health available on college campuses for our young people who are at an age that's very, very vulnerable. A dear, dear friend of mine, 20 years ago, her son committed suicide on campus, and we have too few facilities and treatments available. So we finally got some money in the budget. The bill passed a long time ago, but we finally got money in the budget that we hope will provide the kind of help that's needed on college campuses around the country. The budget also was the appropriations for the Defense Department. And I don't usually support a defense budget because those numbers are too high. But in that budget was something very important, and that was to end the authorization to use military force that was passed in 2001 and has been used too often by presidents. It's outdated. It only dealt with ISIS and with Al-Qaeda, and yet we fear this president is going to want to use it in Iran. So we want to repeal and replace the AUMF, the authorization to use military force. That's in that budget. And the other thing is that the president would have to come to Congress to get authorization to use military force. So a lot of important things are happening, but we are at a perilous moment in our history. War, deportation, rolling back of rights that we have fought for a long time. It's clear from everything that I've said that this president is a danger to the United States of America, to our rights. We have potential war, we have deportation, we have people in detention in this country. Some are starting to call it concentration camps. It's inhumane. We need to replace this president. We need to make sure that ordinary Americans have the health care they need, the prescription drugs they can afford. That's what we're moving on. And who's in our way? President Donald Trump. And so we need to be prepared, if not through impeachment, because getting that done in the Senate would be very, very hard. We need to win in 2020 to get a new president that can set us on the right path. Thanks for listening today. See you next week.